Yo, what's going on, fellas? I'm gonna go over the plays that I took today on Spy. So the first play we took was the 666 puts. This was at 10 a.m. And I'm gonna show you guys why I went in these plays. So I was commentating that it was a little bit of a tricky entry because I got in and I wanted to get in early. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but because of I just didn't want to get in, and then it flipped on me, which is exactly what it did. I was gonna get in above here. I mean, not above here. At this close, right here at the reject off of VWAP. So I was gonna get in puts, but there was a couple of things that was, holding me back from getting in there because I was mentioning that we were so close to support and we were holding pre-market low. So obviously, I should have just stayed with that and been more patient. But after seeing this leak and this move to the downside off of VWAP, and we were holding on the pre-market low as well, I got in puts. I basically got in at the bottom. This was probably the worst entry, and I got excited. I wanted to see the break of 670, right? And the reason why I got in was because of this hold on VIX, which was 1864 key pivot that we had down. But I was also mentioning in the morning that if this, I would need to see clarity from here, either a hold above or a hold below. Now, that was a hold in the break above, right? We saw strength, but it was not enough confirmation, especially with SPY, especially since we were holding that support at 670, that key pivot, which would have been nice to grab calls after, seeing that move down and that hold on 670. Calls would have definitely paid, but it's not like puts didn't pay. If you would have grabbed, from pre-market high rejection, this would have definitely paid as well. Pre-market high to pre-market low, but it was just honestly horrible entries, and we took an L on all the plays that we took, all the ones that we averaged down with the 667 puts. This was at 10:08. This was like 8 minutes later, and then I took one at 10:42. This was around, where were we at? Okay, right here. I was looking for another rejection. I thought this was going to be like a nice triple top because we were just getting so much resistance around pre-market high. And we had a signal right there, but obviously it just didn't go through. And this was me going in this play while watching VIX leak to the downside and hold under. If you guys can see right there, right at 1040, we were leaking. And there was plenty of room to our next zone, which was 1763. So then I was mentioning this analysis, which this was the play that we should have waited for, right? But you guys know me. I like to take my plays in the morning. That's when I like to, look for the most action. But sometimes we got to be a lot more patient and just allow the setup to present itself or not take anything. All right. So I said SPY, we are inside our key zone. Seems like it's struggling to hold this range. And VIX is finally in its hot spot. This could be the play. All right. So this was the key zone that we were watching on SPY. And you guys can see that 673 key pivot was about to be tapped. And then we were at our hot spot at 1763 key zone on VIX. All right. So as we were watching that, this was at 11:16, and this happened about almost an hour later. All right. We did see some movement to the upside on VIX from that key zone, but not a lot of confirmation on SPY since we were still holding VWAP. Right. So we had a very choppy climb up off of VWAP, that bounce, and then we had that move to the upside, and we finally tested that 673 key pivot to the penny. We grabbed puts there and completely paid us. Yeah, it literally, I saw 200% in less than 5 minutes, and then we just kept scaling out our positions, and even hit, I think, almost like 400% at one point. It was very volatile. But yeah, fellas, that was a play that I was looking at. As you guys can see, we finally got that, tested that key pivot, and then we also had a confirmation, that retest of that key zone on VIX. So yeah, fellas, that's basically what I took today and why I took them. So there you go, guys. If you guys have any questions, just make sure to tag me in the chat or comment on this video. I'm going to be posting this everywhere. And yeah, fellas, let's continue to more bags. and I'll see you guys on the next one.